Hey guys, if you're watching on the replay, welcome, happy, whatever day you're watching this on. It is Wednesday here, and so we are doing this Q&A. We're going to go through a couple of questions. I know Laura's just got a question from the live we just done, so Laura, pop that in the chat. Make sure that you drop your questions into the Q&A box Friday afternoonish, and then we will be able to answer them on Friday night. So, hit me. Let's go. Let's just go straight into it. If any of you guys have got questions while you're here, of course, drop them in the chat box. If you did your check-in this morning, we all have got to it. If it was anything after this morning, we haven't got to it. Okay, so there we go.
Right then, is there any benefit of drinking hot water with fresh lemons in?
Hot water? I don't know about this. I don't think so. I heard from one of our clients who used to be a dental nurse that drinking water with lemon is bad for your teeth, which I believe because it's an acid, right? So don't do that. But the hot water situation, go on.
I think the thing is, if you mixed Himalayan salt, or I can't remember what the other one's called, like Himalayan salt and lemon in your morning, it's going to hydrate the body quicker because you've been dehydrated for about 8 hours. So the most important thing out of anything, even for like hormonal processes, is to hydrate the body first, which I don't know if you said it in one of the things yet. Like the first thing you can do is add pink Himalayan salt and lemon to a water. I wouldn't know why it's warm.
Yeah, hot is probably if you put salt in to make it absorb, right? That to absorb into the water.
Apart from that, I would say there's any amazing benefits. A little bit like apple cider vinegar. It's not anything to do with fat loss. It's more health.
It is. It's for hormones. It's a probiotic. I think if you had ginger in it, it's like tea. Yeah, ginger is good for health as well. But in saying this, what we have learned, or what I've learned today actually, is that warm water, room temperature water, is better for you than cold water. We're splitting hairs, guys, right? But if you really wanted to if everything else is perfect, if you're no stress, sleep is bang on, hitting your protein, hitting your macros, hitting your fiber, all everything we've spoken about, and then you're like, how can I optimize myself a little bit more? Like room temperature water is better than cold water, and this is because the body inside we're hot stuff. So where it's absorbed easier basically into the body, so it doesn't have to cool down. But in saying that, other people say you burn more calories drinking cold water because it needs to regulate it. So there's pros and cons.
You could market it as cold water as it increases your metabolism because it has to re-regulate the temperature. And they say on average, I can't remember what an average sized cup of water is, maybe it's like 300 milliliters for like the smaller ones. They say it can burn up to like 7 to 9 calories, and that's literally what you're getting. So if you would be splitting hairs for 7 to 9 calories, it's not worth it. But technically, within marketing terms, people can say that.
We love marketing term. We love marketing myth, don't we?
HRT versus holistic remedies, gut health, etc., specifically for premenopause, menopause, etc.
Laura, I love this question. And Susan asked something very similar. I think she asked it in this group, actually. She said, should I get my bloods done? Is it worth getting bloods done so we can see where the hormonal imbalances are? And similar to this, the same kind of answer that I'm going to give is what you want is to optimize yourself as best as possible naturally. So either you're feeling great and you can go to the doctor and be like, hey, get my bloods done. I feel fucking fantastic. Let's see where I'm at. This is normal for me. Or if we've optimized everything, if we've like really squeezed out every single inch that we can do naturally, and you're still not spot on, that's when you go to like a naturopath or a good doctor. And they will say, because to be honest, they'll probably just give you tablets anyway, right? Without saying, a naturopath would say, have you been sleeping well? How's your stress? How's your gut health? Blah, blah, blah. But a GP in the UK will say, take this pill, probably. I'm not slating them, I'm just saying this. My experience, my client's experience, that's what happens. So you want to be as efficient and ticking off everything. So when you go to the doctor, you can say, right, and Sam said the other day, she's going to take me 10 minutes to go to the doctor. You say to the doctor, hey, I'm feeling X, Y, Z. this is what I've done. This is what's happening. This is when it's happening. I've been decreasing my stress. I've been optimizing this. I'm at day X on my cycle, blah, 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 blah. And then if they say go on the pill or blah, blah, wherever they probably pill HRT, say, what are the alternative options? Can you explain to me why this is recommended over anything else? Can you send me the literature that I can read over? Can you help me understand why adding this in is going to help or change anything? Because we don't want to just accept it, if that makes sense. We don't be like, okay, doc, you said this, so I'll do it. I'm hoping to go as long as possible without this group of full menopause diet with Mediterranean diet has begun to level my homes. Yeah, fab. So Sue was in here on Monday, and she is postmenopausal. I'm sure she won't mind me saying she's postmenopausal, and she took HRT, and then she stopped taking it, and she said literally it just paused all the symptoms because your body's not getting used to it. It's not adjusting. It's not having those hormone levels to be able to regulate and whatever. So it just paused it, and then later on in life, boom, smacks you like a train, apparently. So yeah, you want to be optimizing everything as much as possible, and then, if anything, then go. And some things, like if they put you on HRT, say they put you on like a high progesterone or something like that. Well, progesterone isn't just progesterone. It's not standalone. It's affected by estrogen. It's affected by testosterone, affects your thyroid, affects all these other things. So just by trying to fix like one thing could throw off everything else. So we want to optimize as much as possible. And last resort, go to the GP, in my opinion. Gut health is something we haven't even touched on in this course, but
it's like maybe you would say it's a bit, I think it's similar to what guys can have, which is TRT.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. It's like putting a plaster on a wound. I mean, like a wound would heal, but if you put like plaster on like a balloon that is leaking water, it will stop it. But if you haven't built up all of your basic habits and even like general knowledge on the subject, as soon as you take that or you come off the therapy, the hormones start to try to like restart again. And if all your whole bad habits are exactly the same, highly processed food, chronic cortisol, you don't care about any of your sleep, all those symptoms will, like Sue said, just come flooding back.
Yeah, but it looks like Laura's doing everything. She's doing the med diets and stuff.
If you do what you can do, then yeah, perfect.
100%.
Instead of honey, is it okay to use Truvia? It's like a sweetener, I think.
Is it like stevia? Is it?
I think it's the American version, is it?
People, well, Sam's nodding as well. People are nodding. Yeah, go for it. Honey is more natural, obviously, so we don't get a dopamine hit from natural foods, which is why highly addictive foods are processed and ultra processed, because you don't get a dopamine hit from an apple. You only get it from processed foods.
Well, like as much.
No, you don't get it.
Oh, zero?
Yeah, it's like there's no connection there. So that's why you crave it. So when you go, not that I've been to Vegas, but where I imagine you're going to Vegas, there's like boom, 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 there's lights and there's music and everything. You're like, whoa. And then like you go and gamble and you win. And then like, I'm gonna keep doing this. I keep doing it. I want louder. But then like a couple of days into it, you kind of acclimatize, like, this isn't loud. This is just normal now. I need something more. I need something more, like drugs, right? So this is like a dopamine hit. Literally, gambling is a continual dopamine hit. So are drugs and things like that. So you get that from processed foods. So stevia, I don't know, would count.
It is, yes, because it's artificial. It would definitely be enhanced, if you could say. But so it's probably why people like it more.
Yeah. So, but honey is natural.
But
so
yeah, if it's controlled and you're doing it for the reason to cut out your calories, you can do it. But if you're having like excessive amounts,
if you're like popping them, I'm going, I need another one. But aside from that, fine. You have stevia plants. Cam.
I don't know much about that.
No, I don't know much about stevia. Yeah, but honey.
Also, hand portion sizes. Is that after it's cooked or when it's raw?
So she asked this in the check-in, and I was like, please remind me later because I will forget that you've asked this. I did explain to her that when we are calorie counting with our clients, everything, calories and weights and everything, is raw. But when you are hand portioning, everything is cooked. Because if you put like a chicken breast, this size or palm size or wherever, put it into the oven, it's this size. After the oven, it's this size, right? It's like half the size because it's dehydrated. Same with rice and pasta. You put it in, it's like this much. And then when it comes out, it's this much, right? And you're like, damn, I overcooked it again. Like, how much crap is this? So when you're hand portioning, always do it cooked. When you're calorie counting, always do it raw. Would you agree?
Yeah.
You can see we haven't discussed these questions because we're totally like, what do you think? It's fine. We like to learn off each other, don't we?
Yeah. Right, Vicky's question. Why is it as the day goes on, my willpower gets tired and I give in more?
So she asked this or hinted at this in a comment, and I said put it in as a question because we want to answer this. Do you want to discuss that?
I would say the best way to discuss it or explain it is it's like a tank of water. Every time, like a tap, like every time you make a decision, you're depleting your willpower or the amount of like water that's in the tank, and that'll get regenerated every night when we sleep. So that's why if you have deeper sleep, more like REM sleep, it's not just your muscles that regenerate, it's your brain. So I think perfect examples are like CEOs, like people say, I'm guessing this is true, but like people say like Mark Zuckerberg wears the same clothes every day because he's not fatiguing his decisions. Or you get your butler, like you'll have butlers. So you ask your butler to make your food for you, make that decision. You ask your butler to pick your clothes. That however many decisions that is across a day, you're now like have a lot more left in the tank by the time you get to the end of the day.
Yeah.
Same with like willpower and motivation.
Yeah.
They're both fleeting.
Yeah.
So you can't really rely on them, and discipline is key.
So yeah, I'm sure, again, don't quote me on this, I'm sure Winston Churchill's wife prepared his clothes for him the night before and they were there ready for him to go. Mr. Bean wears the same thing. He's not fat, is he? He wears the same clothes every single day, Mr. Bean. But generally, this is a kind of well versed in the successful people area. So they make as little decisions as possible so that it's highest. And the willpower is going to be exactly the same. Thing with willpower is just like a muscle. The more you use it, the more you get it. And I did mention to Tracy, this is in the other group actually, I mentioned in our client group that if you really struggle with willpower, something you can do is print out like a calendar. And every day that you succeed in whatever that thing is, maybe you hit your water, maybe you go for a walk, whatever it is, don't have like 10, just choose one, you cross it off. And if you're a perfectionist and you don't like to see gaps, you will keep doing this. And you'll be like, I cannot not do this today because I'm 32 days in and I'm into a new month and I want to keep going. Okay, so try little hacks like that. When it comes to willpower as well, I'm pretty sure the thing that I read or heard was if you exercise in the morning, if you eat well, if you eat well, breakfast and lunch, then you are more likely to continue this in the evening. Whereas if you eat crap in the morning, then your willpower's gone shit anyway. Oh, well, I screwed up. I may as well wait until tomorrow. I'll start again. And then you binge eat loads of crap. And then tomorrow you're like, I feel like crap. And it all starts again. So start strong, use your discipline, find little hacks and habit stack as well. We'll talk about habit stack another time, hopefully. And just keep using it.
Yeah, it just comes to if you've got any essential priority tasks, get them done as early on in the day. Work out as early on in the day. I think a good example is why does fasted workouts or cardio work so well? It's not because fasted cardio burns more fat, so like that's not true, but it's because generally if you get up and just get it done straight away, those people that do it fasted are just more consistent over a longer period of time. And that's what gets people results. If you had identical people, someone would probably maybe make better results if they're training like in the afternoon-ish, when their body's like fully awake. They can maybe put more effort in, maybe put more weights. But for us, like it's such small details. So that's just another reason why they've got more willpower, motivation. They've done, you could argue, their priority task rather than people leaving it to 6 or 8 o'clock. It isn't ideal.
And then you've gone home from work. I'm looking at you. Yeah, you smiling. I'm not going to pick on anyone, but Lots of people who come home from work, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna stay in my pajamas now, I'm not gonna go out. And they sack it off until the next day. So get it out of the way in the morning if you can.
Yeah, like
If you can, and you want
that's
to.
just why it worked. Yeah.
Another thing for willpower with diet, with nutrition, is don't have the quote unquote bad food in the house. Don't have the food that you're like addicted to, need that dopamine hit in the house. Have it outside, not outdoors, like literally in the shop or something.
Keep it in the shed.
Yeah, so you have to go out and get it. And also choose the same foods, eat the same foods day in, day out. That's going to keep your decision-making power in your brain, instead of being like, oh, shall I eat this or shall I eat that? And it's like, it's already made. That decision's made. Doesn't matter. Now I can decide to go to the gym instead of like, oh, well, I decided to eat good instead of going to the gym. So there's that. Mine has been on an evening, and I wondered if this was something to do with higher progesterone. What are we talking about now? Oh, willpower. P.S. This has improved since following. You guys are really snack if it's a bad choice, but I used to genuinely feel hungry, but now with protein over 100, I'm more disciplined. Yeah. So protein, yeah, it does with food as well. So you're in the morning, you're like, shall I have Cocoa Pops or shall I have avocado smashed on toast with eggs? Like, well, I ain't got time. I'll just do the Cocoa Pops, right? So every time you make a good decision, or any decision actually, then this decision-making power goes down, and then willpower also. But when it comes to snacking and feeling hungry, little hack is, if you think, oh my God, I really fancy something, the way to decide whether it's pure hunger is ask yourself, would I eat a bowl of vegetables right now? If the answer is no, you're not hungry, don't eat it, okay? That's true, isn't it? Like, you go to a restaurant, you have a starter, you have a side, you have a main, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so stuffed, I can't move. And the chef comes out, he's like, we've got a chocolate lava cake. And you're like, yes, please, even though I am full. But if you ask me for any vegetables, I'd be like, no, I'm glass of water, I'm going home. Like, so you need to ask yourself that when it comes to snacking as well. And bump your protein
up. So Nicole asked, what are your thoughts on creatine? In your opinion, is it worth taking? I've been told it can be beneficial.
Here she is, look. I've got it. Hey. I freaking love it. Love creatine. That's it. That is all. Faye said she loves it, so I'm going to start taking it. So creatine is a supplement. Let me just let Anna Dixon in here. Creatine is a supplement. It's very, 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 very well researched and scientifically studied. It's safe. It's totally safe. It is not going to make you massive, okay? It's not steroids. It's not a it's nothing injectable. Yeah. So there's lots of pros to creatine. It makes your muscle bellies full. That's the best one, right? Because now you're looking really toned. So when you've got bloat, you know, when bloated, that's like water, but it's outside of the muscle. Creatine brings the water inside of the muscle and it absorbs it. So your weight might go up, but this is water weight. It is not fat, okay? But the other benefits are, it's fantastic for cognitive health, especially for women. So if you've got a lot of decisions to make, if you're running the house, if you're studying something, if you've got a job that you need to be like mentally switched on, creatine is wonderful. Is it tasteless or similar to protein powder? You can get both, can't you?
Yeah, you can get flavored or tasteless, and then you can pretty much add it to anything.
Yeah, I normally have tasteless, like just plain, and I put it with my pre-workout, or I put it with some squash. I've never tried with Coke or anything like that, to be honest. But I have heard that if you put it with warm water, like a coffee, and then let it cool, that is a good way to have it as well.
Yeah, I've put it in my Cocoa Pops because it just dissolves into that and the milk for my pre-workout. You can just have it in anything you want, really. It will dissolve into the food. And you get a lot of creatine from steak and red meats anyway. So you're having it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's natural. It's not like
Yeah, it's not something extra you add
Not
into the
fake.
body, but now you're just making sure the full and your muscles are saturated up to
Yeah.
what it can hold, and then it just stays there by supplementing it every day.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't really afford to eat steak every day, like most people.
Does it need to be taken before or after a workout to get the best? You can have it anytime and on non-workout days as well. You need to consistently take it. It takes about a month to get into your cycle, a little bit more maybe for a woman, but you need to take it consistently every day. There's two types of creatine generally on the market. There's creatine hydrochloride and there's creatine monohydrate. Monohydrate is cheaper. There's no difference really, to be honest, but you need to take more of it. So with monohydrate, you don't absorb the 100% that you take in. I think normally it says 5 grams, does it? 3 to 5 grams?
An average serving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would take 7, to be honest, because then the parts that you're not absorbing, you're still, if you're absorbing 80%, you're absorbing 80% of 7 grams instead of 5. Again, splitting hairs. I like it. It gets you to push harder in your workouts as well.
I think that's its original biggest benefit is performance enhancing, and it'll just make you recover a little bit quicker in between sets. It will help you push a little bit heavier in weights, and then over time, it will help you technically tone up and build more muscle slightly quicker because you can perform better in the gym. But like FaZe named a lot of benefits outside of it, but its biggest thing is performance enhancing. So if you're into the gym and doing weights, you will double up on the benefits, but you can definitely still take it if you're not doing weights.
Yeah. Can you sprinkle it, or do you have to mix it with something? I think Cam sprinkled it. Oh, well, I don't know.
No, you want it to dissolve into some sort of like liquid, and then it hides it if it's plain. So if I put it onto my cereal of Cocoa Pops and then the milk's in.
What if I had a brownie and I sprinkled it on top?
You can have it, but it just tastes like powder.
Oh, okay.
Like it wouldn't dissolve into the muffin.
What if I poured hot chocolate on top,
sort of...
melted chocolate on top of that?
Oh, it tastes like mad chocolate then.
There you go then. That's how you do it.
Melted chocolate creatine. That'll be a new thing.
You eat Cocoa Pops. He does. I do not. I do have to say I don't like cereal. I don't like cold food generally, and I don't like wet food either. I'm getting used to it, okay? Anyone in the client group will have seen me drink a yogurt today for the very first time. Videoed myself. Oh, Cam, can you grab the charger, please? The laptop's going to die. So yeah, I'm not really a big fan. Another question. Collagen, worth it? Or do you go from diet? Depends what the usage is, I guess. We don't recommend it. Not because, no, we don't not recommend it. We don't suggest it, we don't, it's not like a key one that I would recommend that people get, basically, is what I'm trying to say. There are lots of other ones that we would recommend, but they all do different things. So it depends on what you want. You could try it. Collagen protein is supposed to be right, isn't it?
Collagen protein?
Yeah.
Oh, collagen protein. I thought you said collagen creatine. I was like, I've never had that. Yeah, it's like a lot of supplements. It may add 1 or 2% to your overall results, health. It's never going to be massively noticeable within like a week or a day of taking it. So that's what everyone's got to take with a pinch of salt. Supplement an already good and healthy and balanced diet. Other than that, if people go straight to supplements, you won't really see the benefits.
Yeah, and that's what she says. She says, I used to take it in a cup of tea, but not sure what I got from it. Yeah, exactly. A lot of it, to be honest, guys, is marketing, like ploys. So this is why supplements are such a big deal, a big market, because a lot of the stuff you can get from natural sources, right? Pre-workout is coffee. That's it. Creatine you can get from steak. And gimmicks. But because there's so much money in these companies and in the marketing, and it's so cheap for them to make, they will then push it like, wow, you'll get a massive glutes if you take this supplement. It's creatine, which you can get in a steak, right? So, marketing. I like marketing.
It's like the worst one is BCAA.
BCAAs. Yeah, has anyone heard of BCAAs?
It's literally flavored water.
Yeah. So BCAA is a branched chain amino acids, which you get in meat. So if you're a meat eater, you're wasting the money. If you're not a meat eater, they can be helpful. Like they can be helpful. Like Prime. I think that's the drink.
Yeah, Prime is like the biggest gimmick. Like just have a Lucozade. I don't know loads about Prime. I just know the YouTube people made it.
Yeah. I think we're too old, Cam. We're too old to know about
Yeah,
that.
we're too old about that. But yeah, that's like literally marketing to a T. I can't even imagine their budget.
I know.
And I think it's expensive.
Yeah, I've heard it's expensive.
But just yeah, stick with a coffee or Lucozade or an electrolyte tablet.
My kid's not sharp about it.
Yeah, I think it does get popular. Laura did have a question at the top
Yes.
about evening strength training. Where are we? Just wondering if doing strength training at 7:30 p.m. would be a negative for my circadian rhythm.
Oh, how deep do we get into this, Cam? That sounds really sarcastic, but I do we really love talking about this kind of stuff. So there is
Put our link anywhere else.
our link.
Wednesday's link.
What are you asking me?
Is it for the client call?
No, they should be in here.
Okay.
This is it.
This is combined.
This is the only
Okay.
call. Yeah, our
I just
clients
wanted to make
have been
sure.
sacked off for our honorary clients. Okay. So there are things called chronotypes. Okay. It's very deep now. We've spoken about this. We've done another program, a metabolism program, where it's less hormones, but more general overarching metabolism. So you've got 4 different chronotypes. You probably have heard of like the typical 2, like the morning bird and the night owl, right? That's like a normal thing. There's actually 4. Now let me drill these out, pull these out of my mind. There's the bear, the wolf, the dolphin, and the lion, I believe. Okay. So the dolphin, oh God, I hope I don't get these wrong. I haven't done it for a while. The dolphin is the insomniac. This person can't sleep. It makes up about 5% of the whole world, the whole population, and they live on not much sleep. So they're going to be very different, proactive at different times compared to the lion, who is a morning animal, I believe. So this lion will wake up early, so all of their hormones are activated a bit earlier in the day. So their workouts and stuff are going to be, pushed earlier on the day. So maybe their strength workout is best at 1 p.m. Whereas a wolf, who is the typical night owl, that person will be better for strength at 4 p.m. Okay, so it's just a few hours difference, but that would decide kind of the strength of it. And then so the wolf might not sleep until midnight. So 4 p.m. is absolutely fine. Whereas if the bear, who wakes up with the sun, goes to sleep with the sun, obviously, so seasonal, I guess. If that person woke up really, really early, which is out of their comfort zone before the sun come up, and trained really, really late for whatever reason, maybe they were working, then that would throw them off because they'd have to go to sleep later now, way after the sun's gone down. So they're having less sleep, less quality. So they're the 4 chronotypes, and you can Google this, you can look at sleep chronotypes and the 4 ones, and it'll give you a productivity calendar or clock, basically, and it'll say, do this first, do this at this o'clock, eat at this time, go to sleep at this time. And obviously, if you were as lucky as Cam and myself, self-employed, then you can do that. You can wake up whenever you ideally should. You can go to sleep whenever you ideally should, even though we don't. But when you've got a job, you can't just be like, sorry, boss, I'm not coming in today until 4 p.m. because I'm not waking up till 11, then I gotta go train, and then I gotta eat, and da. So that is the long-winded word of saying it depends. But if you're gonna train late, don't have caffeine, don't have a pre-workout, don't have coffee before it. They're the main tips. And make sure what time was it? 7, was it?
7:30.
I'd probably
I guess
try and
it
eat.
depends on like what time you go to bed.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. So if you're going to bed at like 10 or 11, that's like 3 to 4 hours. You wouldn't want to eat after you get back from the gym. So I would make big breakfast, big lunch, snack before I go to the gym, snack before bed or when I get back from the gym. That's the way I would plan it. So like with lots of our clients, sometimes they work night shifts, sometimes they've got like weird shifts. Like Julie, for example, she's going to be getting up at 4 a.m. So her food and stuff, we're going to help her figure out when's best time to eat, what she should kind of be eating at what time, when's best to optimize it. So it's all very different per person, but I wouldn't eat after that workout. I wouldn't drink caffeine before it. They'd be my main tips.
Yeah.
But also, another thing, on Friday, you will find out about the hormones that are related to strength training and exercise in general, actually. So you want to make sure that your cortisol isn't too high. Laura's not from, you're not from South Wales, are you, Laura? No, okay. I don't want to slate anybody in South Wales, but there are gyms that play like really loud music. They got like rave lights going on. There's like cowbells. There's a crack form kind of exercises. Those I wouldn't recommend going to at 7:30 because then the adrenaline is kicked in. You're like, I'm ready to punch someone, like we don't want that. So maybe if you're going to do like strength training, that's fine. Maybe if we can do some yoga, fine. But I wouldn't be going to like, a crazy pump.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is like your cortisol spike from the workout. So if you had said you do HIIT really late in the evening, like Facer said, it's pretty much a HIIT high intensity workout. It's going to release more cortisol spike. That needs to drop down to try and help release like the sleepy hormones of like melatonin to get better and deeper sleep. But if you've still got elevated cortisol, it's out of sync of your circadian rhythm. So yeah, but strength training, although it does spike cortisol, technically, it's not as much as HIIT. And if you have at least a 3-hour gap, generally 3 to 4 hour gap between your training session and to bed, then it would have like come back down within time. But if it's like within an hour, it's definitely going to be affected.
Yeah. She doesn't do HIIT whatsoever.
There we go.
And apparently there's like a rave one in Washington, I wasn't saying, Warrington.
It's probably one in Washington.
Probably. Was that all the questions?
Yeah.
We smashed through them.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any other questions? Or anything they want to say?
Sounded in the right one. It's in
here.
It says Nicole, doesn't it?
Nicole. Oh yeah. Is too much sleep just as bad as too little? Oh, I think you asked this question somewhere else. And how much sleep is too much sleep? Well, Nicole, it depends on your chronotype. So like a bear might need more than a dolphin. But the way to think about it is if you were to go on holiday, no kids, no partner, it's just bliss, right? You got servants, I was calling them slaves. You got servants bringing you food and whatever. What time would you love to go to bed? And what time would you love to wake up naturally? No alarm. You're just like chilling. You're just like, waking up, sun is rising or whatever time it is. What time is it? If that time is 7 a.m., you're like, I just automatically wake up at 7. I'm bounced, I'm ready to go, I'm loving life. Then, you need to make sure they've got enough time in bed to get to 7 o'clock. So 7.5 to 9 hours before 7. If that time is 11, then obviously it's the other way around, right? So you need to be in bed later, technically. Let me just let Rachel in here. But too much sleep. Do you want to talk about sleep deficit?
So I guess, yeah, people call it like a sleep debt. And you can't get back sleep debt is the quickest way to say it. People are like, if I'll sleep extra tomorrow morning. Well, once you've lost sleep, you've lost it. And that's why it's such like important thing. It's like an evolutional thing. If it wasn't that important for our bodies, it would have got rid of it like quite a while ago. Bad sleep promotes sleep, so good sleep promotes better sleep. If you have a good routine of sleep and you have a good evening routine and morning routine, like they say, what do they say?
Oh, what do they say? What do they say, Kat?
What do they say? Like your bedtime routine starts like the morning of.
No.
So like I can't remember
your morning routine starts the night before.
There we go. I couldn't remember. But yeah, if you can get into a good rhythm and keep it consistent, like the biggest thing is go to bed and wake up at similar times.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest way to get your body into rhythm and into sync. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, because your body loves routine. It loves repetition. It loves doing things like on the clock. It loves it, okay? So if you go into bed at the same time and waking up at the same time regularly, the body will now get really good at being like, okay, we can switch off, we can do this, we can shut down the digestive system, we can do this, if we are, and the better you get at that, the better your sleep's going to be. Because if you eat, so the digestive system shuts down on 3 hours before you sleep. Okay. So if you eat 1 hour before bed, in the middle of the night, 1 a.m., your body's going to go, hello, time for us to start digesting this food that has come down to us eventually into the gut, into the stomach. So you're not going to get as a good quality sleep. So get into a rhythm, get into a routine, and the body will get really good at sleeping. Practice, isn't it? Practice makes perfect.
Pretty much.
Practice makes progress, we should say, actually. It's better. My problem is my early work schedule with inconsistent days off. Yes, that is unfortunate. That is all. I did put in the night shift thing. Did you see that? Did you see the little cool? Yeah. So hopefully that will help. And then, to be honest, you just need to try and get into rhythm as quickly as possible. So if you work a night into the morning on Monday, so Monday morning you come back from work and you're not back in till the Sunday, for example, then like Tuesday or very late or very early Wednesday, you want to get back into like normal sleeping time. So do all the good sleep hygiene stuff straight away. Try and get some like wind down time before bed and just get into as much of a rhythm as possible. And then on the morning that you get back, after you've had like a little nap, like a 2 hours nap or 5 hours, whatever it was, just get outside as soon as possible to get the daylight on you so your body recognizes that it's daytime, and hopefully that will help. It does make weight loss more difficult. It does. Like we've got clients, they do lose weight, of course, because they're our clients, but they do work night shifts and it is harder. It's harder to lose weight. But it can be done, so don't give up. There's lots of other things, nutrition, training, sleep, that you can work on. I heard that as wind down, Anna, this is a problem. For about 1/8 of a second, I was like, yay, wine o'clock. Wind down.
It's wine o'clock somewhere in the world.
It must be. Depends on your chronotype, isn't it? Wind down. There we go. What else have we recently learned about sleep, Cam? Have got anything you want to flex?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I was going to say about like jet lag is very similar.
Oh,
in
yeah.
In the way you can time your circadian rhythm. So you want to sink into the travel zone that you're going to as soon as possible. So if you're on like flight day and you're going to there, you want to do the similar activities to what you would be doing at that time zone that you'd land. So if you land after 2 p.m., you wouldn't have any coffee because that's going to stay in your system for 8 hours and it's going to affect your sleep straight away. Again, you wouldn't take any naps, knowing that it's just going to make it harder to sleep when you're in the new time zone. So you take very minimal naps if you had to. But if you are entering a place where it's like 8 in the morning, you could have a similar routine of what would I be doing at 8 o'clock now? So you could have caffeine. If you were going to nap, you could nap to try and get it done early. It's just like similar stuff like that.
There is an app, isn't it? Time Shifter.
Yeah.
That's the one I recommend to clients. Time Shifter. It's free, I'm pretty sure. And basically it tells you where, it gives you like the light therapy and the caffeine lack of or included for the week or so running up to the flight or to the travel day. So that's really helpful.
What is that thing about wine and dopamine? I can't remember what it was. It was a topic, wasn't it?
It was. Pass. Can't remember. I didn't write it down, so it didn't go into my head. This is the thing, guys. I hope you've all got notes.
I'll have to write it down and send it back to Anna.
Yeah. God, no, I can't remember. Completely blank. It's late for us though, guys. It's like almost 10 p.m. here, so you've got to forgive us, innit? But on that note, alcohol does blunt the memory, so don't do it. I mean, do it if you want to. I'm not gonna judge you, but less is more, guys. Kyra looks like she's typing. No, okay, not to us, just to a fella. Oh, say it again. No, can't hear you.
She's reading her True Coach.
Oh, okay.
I think she's doing a workout.
All right, yeah, she is. Look at her guns. Fabulous. So, guys, if we can remember anything else we've recently learned about sleep, then we'll let you know. I think the best time to nap is between 1 and 4. Julie, that's one for you. Apologies, no True Coaches because I'm holiday. Still turning up though, aren't you, Laura? Still here. Probably she's the one drinking wine, probably. I had to nap on holiday. It's probably the food crash, and probably the crash of 12 weeks of photo shoot prep as well. Oh, the heat, yeah, that's the other thing. The free carver is still in the fridge. Good for her. Look. She's making good choices, isn't she?
So they will build up.
They do. All those good decisions. Stop crossing them off. Make your fence. Be sorted. Had one cocktail the first night. Was really hungover. Binged on pizza. That's not what she said. Alrighty, guys. Tomorrow we do not have like an education piece. We used to in our old programs do one a day, and then these calls on top. And people were like, "This is too much. My brain is going to explode." So we've cut it down to every other day. So Friday. So what's the task tomorrow? Oh, your journal thing, guys. Have you downloaded it and started filling it in? Laura's like, no, because I'm on holiday. That's fine. Everyone else is like, yeah, that's good. Cool. So make sure that you are putting some information in there. Tomorrow, see how you feel. Put down your sleep time, what time you switched off social media, switched off blue light, that kind of stuff, and the night before. And then what time you wake up, go through it again. And I want to see if there's anything in there that you guys like, oh yeah, this happened. I had shit sleep last night. Now I feel like a cow, wherever it's going to be. Not fat, I mean like miserable cow. That's what I meant. God, Campbell. Laura hasn't got a printer. You can take that.
Write out.
Take a screenshot.
Pen and paper.
Yeah, pen and paper. Go the old-fashioned.
Old school.
Fantastic, guys. Hope you have a lovely Thursday. We actually take Thursdays off. So only day off of the week. So we're going to be AFK tomorrow. Remember that? Anyone else remember AFK? No? Only me? Okay. We're going to be away from keyboard tomorrow. So if you need us, obviously just drop us a message, but we might not get back to you straight away. Otherwise, Friday morning, you've got a lovely, wonderful training by yours truly about training and hormones. And then here's a top tip here. Your homework on Friday is going to be to post a sweaty selfie. So if you're training tomorrow, if you're training the rest of today, if you're training, Anna does not look happy with that. Anything, wherever, just take a picture of you doing your training, you wake up, you walk, wherever it's going to be, upload it into the group. All right. Fab. Fantastic. Oh, I do have one more thing actually, guys. Thank you, Julie. I do have one more thing. Some of you have messaged us about not our clients. Clients, you can leave at this point. That's fine. But the other people have messaged us about. Some of you have said, can we work with you? How do we work with you like after this? What do I do after this? So we are not taking on new clients right now. We're publicly closed because we're full of our lovely, lovely clients that we've got. But we are going to open 5 spots for this group. Basically, we're going to open 5. 1 or 2 has already gone. Definitely 1. I think maybe 2 are definitely gone. So if you want to apply, drop us a message saying apply or something like that, and we can send you the application. So the process goes like this: you apply, we see, can we help them, or are they screwed? Are we qualified to help them? That kind of stuff. Yes, no, yes. Then I say, hey, we're going to jump on a call. I'm going to see if you vibe with us, if we can allow you into our group. We are very protective of our clients. If you've got if you're tip top, if you're one of them, then we can talk about programs and stuff like that. If not, then obviously we can't work together. And I'm sorry, but you're a loser. But generally, that's how it works.
You're so mean tonight.
I'm just kidding, man.
That's why everyone says she's the mean one and I'm the nice one.
I'm busting their balls. To be honest, lots of people on this program are good people because it's the kind of program you have to learn, and that's the kind of clients that we like.
It's not a weight loss one.
Yeah.
It's indirect for weight loss, but if you're here to learn, that's the type of people we want.
We freaking love them. As you know, we are nerds. If you're thinking about being a client, I would highly recommend it. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have from a client perspective. That is from Anna Dixon. Anna Dixon James,
Our in-house publisher.
author extraordinaire. If you want a book, let her know.
Yeah, we get referrals as well.
Laura J is saving up.
If you buy it from Amazon, put in this as coaching.
But yeah, I'm sure any of our clients would be more than happy to chat to you. So if you need anything, just ask in the group and someone will reach out to you. And we won't even be there, so you can slag us off as much as you want. Okay. Right, guys, have a lovely, Paris is well worth it. Have a lovely couple of days and we will chat on Friday.
Ciao.
See ya.